If you already have a survival house that looks like this, I want to show you 3 simple tricks to improve your house to look something more like this. As little work as possible and with as few materials but with amazing results. I'm Mechs the builder and I built 5 of these wooden boxes to see what I would build to improve it, and I found 3 main building features that are the most effective to making the build look more beautiful in general. And all this using just a few blocks, which are essentially wood, cobble, and natural blocks. I'll be going over these tips from the most simple and effective to more complex, and I'll show off the 5 builds at the end so you can try and build it out for yourself. So pick up your blocks, come build with me. Number 1. Landscaping. Landscaping is basically anything around the building, and in this context it's mostly natural plants and vegetation. And across the 5 builds, this feature was the most effective at making the building look more attractive. And you can do it too. I use leaf blocks to place them around the building edge or under the windows. You can get these in survival if you have shears. You can also make the leaves look like you're climbing the building by stacking them. And also place a lot of flowers native to the biome with grass around the building. Try and place them more naturally and random instead of super neatly like in a straight line. You can also occasionally place cobble slabs around the base of the building so it looks like it's a foundation or maybe just a flower bed edge. Then you can add a path to the front door. For simplicity's sake, we're using a shovel to make a dirt path. Again, make it more natural and organic instead of a straight line. You can also light up the path with a fence and a torch on top. And instantly, the wood box already looks more uplifted and intentional. I think it's the fluidity of nature that contrasts with the box shape and paints a good picture as it blends with the natural terrain. But it's still a wooden box, which leads to our next tip. Number 2. Make an overhang. This basically means make a roof, but in this case, a roof is as simple as adding a perimeter of wood slabs around the top. This adds an overhang to your doors and windows, adding an extra shape to the simple box, as well as adding some depth to the facade. Using slabs means you're using half the amount of material, because slabs are literally half of a block, which is a lot cheaper than using stair blocks, and I'm all for cheap stuff. So it'll look like a really mellow pyramid roof capping the top of the box, when in reality all we've done is add slabs around the edge. You can also add another layer of slabs so it looks a bit more steep, but it's your house, so it's up to you. So like the build in the thumbnail, I used grass blocks over the roof and scattered it with leaf blocks and flowers to make a green roof, which looks really cute. Another thing we can also do is trim off the corners of the wood box to create an interesting shape so the box has been sculpted to look more circular. Number 3. Detailing. This is just how it sounds. Detailing is adding more elements to add depth or interest into the build. In this case, it's mostly on the walls. This building feature is most complex because the possibilities really are endless, as changing the details in the small scale of a build can really change the whole look of the design. But I'm gonna show you a few simple and low effort techniques I love to use. First off, we can make a simple front door threshold using fences along the side and cobble flooring. The window can have an open fence gate so it looks like it has some more structure. If you build your roof higher, you can also place a trapdoor over the window so it looks like it has a window overhang. Similarly, can be done to the front door. You can use trapdoors as windowsills to place the flower pots over them. You can scatter fence posts around the front as if it's enclosing a front garden. You can even add torches on them. And these details can go on and on. So I'm gonna go over the 5 builds I mentioned earlier. So the first one is basically everything that we've gone over. Adding the plants, adding the trim on the roof, and also adding a little bit of cobble as a foundation for the building and a little bit of detail. The second build, I've added a trim on the corners, and I also added the fence posts so that they look more circular, but all the rest of the detailing is essentially the same thing. House number 3 is probably the cutest one with the green roof. Really makes the building pop out look more natural and give it an organic feel. And if you look closely, I've also trimmed the corners. I've added an upside down stair up and down, and also in the middle I've added a trapdoor so it gives it like a curvature look, so the shape becomes a bit more fluid and organic. We've also added this small threshold door feature, the cobblestone wall and trapdoors. Same can be said with the windows, with the trapdoor and the fence gate. And if we go inside, we can actually look at the roof design where we have the leaf patterns open up to the sky, and occasionally the leaves would actually drop by inside the house, which is very nice. For house number 4, I've added these supports onto the roof overhang. They're open fence gates and fence posts at the These are basically fence gates with fence posts at the corners. I've also made the roof a bit more steep by adding another layer of slabs so it looks more pyramid-like. Finally, for house number 5, we have an extended porch with fireplaces and trapdoors, and with a similar fence post design. This adds an extra layer of depth before you enter the house, which is kind of cool. We also have new window features, and I also adapted a window overhang design with fence posts instead of fence gates. And similar again, I sculpted the corners so they have this curved shape. Oh yeah, and also added lanterns in the corners of the window. Cat. I have a bunch of other YouTube shorts where I manually build stuff on the channel, and also on TikTok, where you can hopefully get more inspiration to build. I hope this video helped, and feel free to use the designs for your own builds. Let me know what you want to see next, and keep on building.